Aloha, everybody. Aloha, Walter Hall. Let me do a real quick sound check if you guys can hear me. Aloha. It's working. It's working. My new microphone is working too, as well. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. And I would like to talk to you guys today about the ATEM Mini Pro. For those of you guys who was here yesterday, come on, there you go. For those of you guys who was here yesterday, it was my very first time using this damn thing, and for some reason I had some issues that I ran into. I worked all these issues out, and I'm really happy that I am back on the road doing things what I like to do. Physical therapy, everything is done. So today we'll be talking about the ATEM Mini Pro, what it is, what it does, how you set it up, and how to use it, and why I chose the ATEM Mini over the alternatives that are out there, and the things that I actually don't really like. So stay tuned for that one. If you guys haven't done so already, please don't forget, like, subscribe, hit the bell if you guys want to be notified about future live streams, videos, whatever I'm going to come up with. Anyways, let's talk about the ATEM Mini Pro right here. This is the ATEM Mini Pro, and this is pretty much a multi-camera switch. So while you stay doing live streaming, you have the capability of switching in between cameras. If you are here for this live stream right now, for the setup and for how it works and how it goes, you're at the right place, man. Anyways, let's get straight to the juice on how to operate this thing. So I set up a camera so you guys can see the backside. So in the backside over here, we have the power plug right here, which is pretty much like it says already, to power this device. Next to that, yesterday I thought it's for the Cat 5 just to hook it up to the internet to get updates. Wrong. It's actually not. What this actually does is you have the capability of hooking it up to your network, so you're going to be able to access it with the control panel that Blackmagic design creates for this, that is on your computer afterwards. So on your computer you will be able to access it because it's part of your network. So to hook it up with the Cat 5 is the best option to do so, which would be right here. You hook it up to your router or whatever else you're doing with it. Besides that, right here you have a USB-C out, which goes currently over here into my computer. So before, like I said yesterday, the HDMI out that I used earlier, I used it straight to go into my capture card. I don't have to do that. Why? Because that USB-C out actually does that just for me. It pretends for the computer to be a webcam, and on the options itself, when you're looking on the options, it actually sees Blackmagic design webcam. But the good part is it bundles it all together for you, which is 4 cameras in, 1 out, and you can put it together like this and send the stream out. I just have to push the button to whatever function I want. That's why I wanted this. If I do product reviews as a live stream like I do right now, this is the perfect way to show it. You have 1 camera set up like I have right here with the 55mm to 200mm to zoom in so that you guys can see what this is. This one right here is the HDMI out. The HDMI out actually is not going into my capture card. Where it's going to at this point, and I'm going to move this camera because I have a camera set up over here just for that. Oops, which is my FX3 right here. So we are going to show you guys right there. It's a multi-screen. So I'm actually using my external Feel World monitor that I usually use for the cameras to have it as a multi-screen, so I can see on the multi-screen what is going on, that I'm on the air, what is my catch, or what is my transmission rate and all that stuff, and what the other cameras are looking at this point, which is really nice. Besides that, I have the other camera set up, which is the overhead, so you guys can see on the panel right here. These 4 buttons are actually the only 4 buttons that I'm currently using to switch in between all these things that are going on, to switch in between the 4 cameras that I have, which is really nice. And it gives you a couple options within that to actually create it for a mix. If you press the mix over here and you press auto, and you can determine the length of the transfer over. So let's say 1 second. This is for 1 second to move it over. I switch it over to 2 seconds. This is 2 seconds how it moves over. It takes a 2-second delay that that you can move this over. You can play around with that also live on the screen, which I'm going to show you guys at a later point a little bit. I leave it on 1 second, and then you have a couple kinky things to do, like a push screen to move over, or like a squeezer to move the screen over, and all that stuff. You see how it moves these things over. I just leave it as mix and on auto on 1 second, so that when I want to switch around on this panel, that's what these 4 buttons are for. Another part is it says right here for still. That's if you have certain still images assigned to it, like I have right here. I have in that control panel, I set it up that I switched a still image inside there that I want to have shown. If I press that, that's if you want to have a placeholder. You can also switch to black screen right here, or you just leave it as is. 1, 2, 3, 4 cameras. That's pretty much the 4 that you want to run around with. Now, to get to this USB-C out as well, you don't have to use it to put it into your computer to have it pretend to be a webcam. You don't have to, because you can actually use this USB-C out also to record this current session, which it will record all 4 cameras at the same time, which is great, which is one of the reasons why I opted for this ATEM Mini Pro to have all these 4 things, because it is made by Blackmagic Design, and I'm actually using DaVinci Resolve, so it's going to be perfect for me to have it on an SSD or a hard drive or whatever else, and it's going to record in, I believe, 4K 30, if I'm right, 4K 60, up to 4K 60, I believe. It's recording all 4 cameras at the very same time if I want to have this, and then I could actually import it into my Blackmagic Design or into my DaVinci Resolve, and I could use that to create an episode. And it's probably going to make it easier for me to create episodes without having to switch in between cameras or having to line up all these other things that I usually do, where I set up different cameras, different camera angles, and then I do my thing, and then I have to pull every memory card out, put it on a computer. This way I have it all onto one hard drive that I'm going to plug in, and all 4 channels are on there, and I can choose in between that what I actually want to do. Now, besides that is the HDMI out right now, which I've shown you guys. On my part, it's actually currently on the multi-screen view, so I can see what's going on that multi-screen. Then you also have the ports, which goes number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yesterday, I tried to do the picture-in-picture, as you guys seen it right now in the bottom right. I'm in the bottom right. I can turn that on or off if I wanted to. But yesterday, I thought, okay, if I'm showing off a product, I want to be in the bottom for be in the bottom right, so that you guys can see me. I didn't know that the main feed, this feed right here, has to be on number 1. This is my main feed, so if this is your head talk, this is what you want people to see, this has to be on channel number 1. Don't forget about that. That way you can put your picture-in-picture is always going to be channel 1. So there's no choice of choosing it that I want picture-in-picture to be channel 2 or channel 3 or channel 4. No, if you want picture-in-picture with your head talk in there, you have to put it on channel 1. So that is your main camera where you can put it. That is for your picture-in-picture. Besides that, on these ones right here, there are buttons right here. It says on off. They're currently all off. So what I did is I actually put on camera number 1, which is my head talk camera. So if I'm going to turn off my microphone on this right here, which is my main mic right now, which you guys see right here. This is this mic right here, the Shure S55. I can turn that off, and I can actually turn on the audio on that camera by pressing that very same button. So I'm going to turn off the mic. I'm going to turn this on, and you guys should be able to hear me right now through the microphone from the camera. I hope it works. Let's see if it works. I have to listen to it too. Hang on. I'm going to turn this on. There, it's working. So that way it's working. I also have one just to show you guys on my camera number 4 for the audio. So I turned that off, and this is my camera number 4. This has a microphone on top as well, and that should show you that you can utilize multiple audio sources to actually use these cameras. So if you wanted multiple audio, just in case you're recording for all 4 and you want the audio to be on, you can turn it actually on, and it's going to record from multiple audio sessions at the same time. So I still have to throw that into DaVinci Resolve just to try it out and see what's going on with that. So then after that one, we have the microphone input, which is microphone number 1 and microphone number 2. So I have currently microphone number 1 on. So there's, I don't know, I had problems with this microphone before because in StreamYard you have echo cancellation and you have auto levels. If you put echo cancellation on and auto levels, the audio, if you stop talking, let's say we take a break, now I'm going to start talking again, it's going to pick up real high pitch sound, and it's going to pick up the noise, and then it's going to tune itself down. So I left it as is. I know there's a fan running in the background right now. It's probably going to start raining pretty soon because we're still waiting for the tropical storm that is supposed to roll in. But yeah, so I got it to work, and I think it sounds pretty darn good for being that it's over there. Plus the look that it has, and I really, it's easy because I have my hands free. I don't have nothing in front of me. With this one right here, which is my Yeti Blue, I really like the Yeti Blue. It's a nice microphone. I just don't like that it's like right in front of me. I like to talk with my hands, so I usually ding it. You know, like I ping and then I hit it. This way, that microphone can stay there, and I'll just talk into its direction or talk right here, and it's going to pick it up. And I think the audio quality is pretty good. I'll show you guys in a little bit the app that comes with this stuff, which is one of the other reasons too why I wanted to point out certain things like this box. How this box, for an example, where's the sticker? Right here. There's a sticker. It says includes ATEM software control. It doesn't include it. You can download it, but it's not included in this box. So it's kind of misleading. So for somebody, if you buy this, you're going to be online. Definitely. You should know what you're doing and you should be online. But in order to get to that, you have to go onto the Blackmagic design website. Hang on. I forgot to pull that up. Hang on. I'll show you exactly where it's at. And I found on my live stream, I found where is my share screen thingy. So Blackmagic design, share, there we go, boom. So let me put this as a full screen for you guys to see. So in here you have to go under support, and from support you have to go to ATEM live production switchers. You click on that, and then you have to look through this. This is the latest download, so you pretty much like download the latest one, which is here from June 27, 2023. This thing is huge. It's 3 gigabyte. You can download it for the Mac or for Windows, whatever you need it for. And then you download this, and once you have the 3 gigs downloaded, you gotta unpack it, and then you have to install it. And then once you install that, you actually gonna be able to finish to start up the ATEM Mini Pro software control, which is not showing up on my screen right now. Present. Stop screen, hang on, let me put the screen back on. Share screen. Why can't I, what? Window. All right there, window, ATEM Mini. There you go. So this is gonna be your, this is pretty much gonna be your control panel. Within that control panel, you see the switcher right here where you can actually switch in between the cams around. As you guys see right now on the live stream, I can actually choose to go switch in between those around. You also have that fader where you can fade in between channels. Let's say between channel number 1 and number 2. See, you can use this fader to switch in between unless you want to do it automatically. But this is just going to help you if you want to control this ATEM Mini from there. But I like the physical component right here. I really like to use that. You have color generators if you wanted to choose certain colors for do certain things. I haven't gotten into that yet, so I still got to play around with that. There's also a media player, which I haven't played around with. And then in the output is you can go for the live stream. You can see what's going on in there. You can do the recording part, the capture stills, and time code generator and stuff. Here's what I said earlier is the media. So in here you can choose, like you guys seen earlier, you seen a picture of the Milky Way that I showed you guys. If you press the button on that device where it says still, and it's going to pull up the first image. I haven't figured out how to switch it over to the second one or whatever. And then you have an audio setting over here as well, where you can monitor your audio output so that you know that you're not going to be too high. But also you see These ones are the audio levels from the other devices that if you want to have those on, you can monitor those as well, which I showed you earlier, to push on and off on those buttons, and you're going to be able to actually choose and monitor that stuff. The same goes for the camera. Now, if you have Blackmagic cameras, you would be able to change white balance, color, all kinds of stuff in the settings. I run, unfortunately, all Sony, so sorry, but this function is not going to be working for me. Doesn't really matter. But this is how it hooks up. So when you first start this up, it tells you at first if your ATEM Mini is not hooked up to the network, it's going to tell you, oh, sorry, but there's no ATEM Mini set up. So yeah, that is pretty much what you're looking at. It's going to tell you automatically, like, oh, ATEM Mini is not hooked up, whatever. And that's when you're like, okay, what did I do wrong? So you got to hook it up to your network. It does everything automatically. It pulls its own IP, and it does everything on its own. And this, once you hook up your computer, who's also hooked up to your router, it automatically finds it. I never had to punch in nothing. There is an option where you could actually do it, where it says, would microphone to be used if you were interview in the guest? Yeah, for an example, that would be one of them. Like if you wanted, like let's say you put a lav mic on the second person. If I have a live stream right here with somebody else with a second camera, and I'm switching in between with this, because he's sitting a little bit further away, I have a different camera angle of him, or I have an angle that shows both of us, but at least it's going to be that he has a microphone and I have one, and then we do the whole lav mic over here, and you can hear him too. That's pretty much what that is for, with up to 4 people, technically seen. If you have 4 lav mics to run it, you just got to make sure you run 4 different channels. Anyways, so, but where I was, I forget already what I was talking about. Yeah, so that's for the audio part, that's for the switching part, that's for the transition part, pretty much all that stuff. Then we have in here also, it says right here, it says AFV, which stands for audio follow video. So I guess if you have audio sources, I haven't really tried it yet, but if you have audio sources, it's supposed to switch automatically. I haven't played around with that yet. And then you also have the buttons for up and down, which is for up and down gain of the microphone. So if, for an example, I want it a little bit quieter because I'm yelling too much into this microphone, I can do it like this, or I can bring it back up, and then now you guys are going to be able to see or to hear me better on my stuff. I hope I didn't mess it up yet. So yeah, let's see. Sorry. I just want to check on my audio levels real quick. See, it says no switcher connected, and then now it's switched over to that. So I just want to make sure that I'm not too loud, that I didn't put it on too loud. There you go. Bring it down 1. Yeah, that should be good. So the reason why I chose this ATEM Mini Pro, let me share the screen, full window, entire screen. What about entire screen? There you go. Entire screen. That would be that one. Boom, share. So this is there we go. Is there an option where I can full screen layout? There you go. Boom. So the reason why I chose this, and as you guys can see, I just purchased this literally on July 2nd, and then it came in. So the reason why I chose this is because, oops, what did I do? Is because of the price. So yesterday I stated that I actually bought it for $350. I lied. I actually bought it for $295. As you can see it here, it is $295 right now. The other reason why I bought it is because it's made by Blackmagic Design. So with Blackmagic Design, I really appreciate that there is everything is in there that is compatible with my recording to my DaVinci Resolve. So therefore, it was a no-brainer for me. Plus, the price-wise, it's $295 for a glorified HDMI 4-in-1 out that can do certain things like the fading part and the audio part. You have all that stuff. Blackmagic is really good about that because audio plays a role in that. You have alternatives. For an example, like with this one for $245, but a buddy of mine has this and he trashed it. Like, it stopped working within a month and he hated it, and he was like telling me, if you pick up one, I would opt for a different one. So that one wasn't it. Then I looked at this one, the Matrix one, but it's $800 freaking dollars, bro. And I'm not willing to spend 800 bucks for something that is not even going to be compatible with my stuff. Plus, a lot of this stuff is not even automated. And as far as I read it in the reviews or in the ratings, and even on the reviews that were online, there's not even a recording function really, except for like a delayed record button function, whatever. I don't know. It's just not. No, sorry, but not for 800 bucks. I'd rather pick up another drone. This one was the Fieldword L2 Plus, which I was looking into because I have a lot of Fieldword products, such as my external monitors. And currently, I was like, nah, this looks too cheap and too wimpy. And for $539, it doesn't really have audio controls either, like the ATEM does. So that one went out the window. And then I looked at this one, the Matrix HSV 040, which is the smaller version of the one that I showed you earlier. And that one also has the issue with that recording part where people had issues of recording it to a hard drive. And it was just too much hassle to look at. That I was like, okay, for $549, nah, for $200 or $250 less, I get something that is actually compatible with my DaVinci. So that made it for me as well. And that's the reason why I purchased this. So as you guys can see, I did buy this. You know what I mean? So I'm not getting sponsored by Blackmagic. Which brings me to the parts that I don't like. So first of all, on this thing, wherever you're looking, front or rear, if you haven't noticed, there's no off switch, guys. You can't just turn it off. It doesn't. You have to unplug the wire or unplug the plug in the wall. And so far as I know, electronic devices that you have to unplug and plug in all the time, they're gonna give up after a while. They don't like that. They don't like when you have always the spike of plugging it in and unplugging it. Why you guys don't put a switch in there? What do you mean? What is so hard to put a switch right here? There's like right here in this section right here. You see this section? There's a huge gap right here, guys. Put a freaking on and off switch in there, man. I mean, I don't know. For somebody who's that advanced in video and stuff, you guys couldn't even afford an on and off switch, really? Sorry, my mouth got kind of dry. The next thing, I'm going to try show it with my FX3 if I can. Let's see. Oh, I keep dinging it. What the hell? So the next thing, when you look at these buttons right here, sometimes these buttons, guarantee when I try to show you guys right now, it's not going to work. I don't know. Yesterday, I kept trying to do this. These buttons sometimes get stuck sideways. Like they get stuck. I do not know why, but they're like almost like that. This stuff is stuck underneath, and the button is like standing up. It's really weird. Like it did that to me yesterday multiple times while I used it the first time. Maybe it's because there's no more oil for my fingers yet on it because I haven't used it. But these buttons are a little bit. I mean, they feel super soft, and this thing is made out of metal. This is not plastic, guys. This is metal. So it's really. I really like it. I really do like it. So there's the auto button, or you can do cut. With cut, it's a straight cut in between the buttons. So if you press the button, it's going to be a straight cut. But then with this, like you put it on the auto, that's when it's actually using that mixture thingy. So, but yeah, so I actually wanted to talk trash about the buttons, and now it's not working. Now it's not doing it. Yesterday, every time I pressed the button, the thing got stuck underneath. Right there. Boom. See that? See how... let me zoom. You see how the button is kind of like sideways? It's stuck like that until you move it again a little bit. I'm kind of concerned for that in the future, that it might be doing that in the future somehow, and it might mess up my buttons. I hope not. Like, I really hope not. So, let me... Did it? Oh, I should have switched. Sorry. So, and then, yeah, that was like, that's one of my biggest pet peeves is those buttons that they're kind of, but you see how you, if you want to, how beautifully you can present items to somebody. If you have a nice camera that can do like super close-ups and stuff. So this is pretty much like the box, what you're looking at, what it says on the box. You can even read the writing. So this is how you can show off products, you know, like if you really want to show off something. Oh, this is like a great mouse right here that I like to play video games with. No, of course not, but this is like the mouse that I use. But if you want to show off a product, you can do it right here, and then you switch back to the head talk. So that's why this device is really great to have. And I always wanted something like this because I have multiple cameras and because I like to present something in a more creative way that it's not too boring for somebody to watch. Like, because you're always watching somebody, you just keep staring at him and his camera angle doesn't change and stuff. So this way you can have a camera angle here, you can have another one right down here, you know, and you can I don't know. I think it's better. Plus, this way, like I said yesterday, I had the issue because I set it. This one is set to manual focus right now, so that I actually could zoom into the backside of this device, so you guys actually couldn't look at it. And then, of course, the overhead right here too, so you can have the overhead. So if you have a good lit up thing, I made it kind of dark so that my camera can see the buttons and you can actually see what I'm looking at. And I accidentally turned that off on air, so which turns off my monitoring stuff. So another part is too, you can choose here. How am I gonna do this? Okay, so this part is for. Let me grab the camera. Don't ding it now. There you go. So this one is for, if I press that button, it's for my multi-screen view. And that is if I want to see the program version or if I want to see the multi-screen. Or I can switch in between each one separately. See that? I can play around with it, but I leave it on multi-view so I can see the recording. That's what that panel is for. So this panel right here, this panel is just for your monitoring screen. So whatever camera or whatever screen you're going to be using, but you don't have to, because let's say you don't want to hook it up to your computer, okay, and you want to run it like from the HDMI out straight into your computer with the capture card, and you want to utilize the USB-C for record your session, your live session, then you have to go with this panel. And this panel, if you leave it on the programming key, your audience will not see the multi-screen. You can use the multi-screen in the beginning when you first log into when you first log into your live stream and stuff, and you go on, mine's on the StreamYard, so you can see your multi-screen, you can see what's going on. Then you switch it on this button. On this button, you switch it to program mode, and then boom, the people will see what you show them right here. And that's with the HDMI out. So that way you can use the USB-C instead of pretending to be a webcam. You can use your USB-C out to actually record the stuff. So Walter Hall says, good close-up focus. Yeah, it's a, bro, this lens, I bought it in Vegas when I went for the NAB show, because I have the FX3, so I needed a good lens for it. So I picked up this power zoom, which is pretty good too, because the power zoom is good for, oh, I gotta switch here. The power zoom is good for with the button itself. I'm utilizing right now the button on the top of the camera, and the lens does it. So it's like kind of a finicky kind of thing. But I mean, this lens is really good. I mean, the freaking thing was $1,000. It better have good close-up focus, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I had to fight my wife to get this. Oh, she actually suggested. I keep dinging this around. I gotta find a different setup for that. A better setup for that. Anyways, but my wife actually suggested to pick that up. There was an alternative version that didn't have the power zoom, and it was still the same focal length, 16 to 35. I bought it because I used to use the 50 millimeter, and I had to go really, really far away with the FX3 at the end of that stick to get that vlogging thing. With this, I can literally be like right here, and I can talk story with you, or I can put it down, as you guys can see. Right here, I can be really, really close. I'm like really close right here, right now. Like I'm like freaking 4 inches, 5 inches away. So it's perfect for vlogging. So I really, that's why I like it. But it also, as you guys can see here, it's going to be great for showcasing if you do the live stream part. And yeah, so that's how I figured out this ATEM Mini Pro. This is the reason why I bought it. Because, like I said, because it's compatible with the DaVinci Resolve. So if you're really looking into multi-camera streaming and stuff, I really suggest picking this up. It's a bargain, technically, say for $295 for have this. I tried the alternative a few weeks back. I bought for $20 one of those 4 HDMI in and 1 out. If you don't care about the audio part, because you're utilizing the audio anyways through your computer, like with the Blue Yeti and stuff, you can use a 4 HDMI in, 1 out, and send it straight to my $20 capture card, which is right here. Oh, What am I doing? See? Right there. So this is my $20 capture card right there. Oh, wrong way. HD video capture card. It's nothing fancy. It's a $20 small USB stick. Has USB at the end over here, and then you just plug it in to your computer, and it's perfect for that. You know what I mean? Like you come with the HDMI in the back over here. Hello, use your damn camera. There you go. You can use your come on. HDMI right there. HDMI in. So you plug in your HDMI in the end of this capture card, and then this USB goes into your computer, and you're going to be able to live stream. That's pretty much like your stuff. So if you have a $20 4 HDMI in, 1 out, you plug that out in here, and then you can switch around. You can just push the button on that thing. But those things don't really tend to survive that long. Plus, it's going to be a hard cut, like this hard cut. It's going to be a hard cut like this. And some of those, they give up. If you just touch it slightly, boom, you lose connection with the HDMI. So you got to be careful that you don't lose the connection. But other than that, I don't know if you guys have any questions about the ATEM. If you guys do, please type it in there. That's pretty much explains everything on there. Like I said, I showed you guys the control panel, and I showed you guys that I bought it, and I showed you guys also why I bought it, why I did what I did. Besides that, if you guys have any other questions, even drone related question, feel free to ask me. I need to drink something because my mouth is dry. And everybody was like, oh, didn't you do a live stream yesterday? I was like, yeah, I did one, but it was kind of crappy because it didn't really know how to use the damn thing, you know. ATEM Mini Pro. I really can suggest it. The link should be in the description of this live stream. I believe I put them. I also might be putting, oh no, I didn't. Did I put it? Yeah, I did put it. There's also the info on Artlist. Artlist has currently something going on too, where you can get like 2 months for free if you're looking for royalty-free music. Artlist is the thing to do right now. Man, I had all these other ones. I had Epic Sounds, Epidemic Sounds, and I had this other stuff, and they're just super expensive, and they're not doing what I need, you know, and Artlist just does it. So anyways, but I put the link for this device in the bottom, also the HDMI and to the mini HDMI to HDMI wires that I'm utilizing. They're really affordable. There's also the Yeti Blue mic that I'm using, and there's the Shure S55, which you guys have listened to today. If you guys do decide to pick up that old school, this thing looks so great, doesn't it? It looks so nice. You guys need the wire for it though, which is XLR to 3.55 or 3.5 millimeter. The link is also in the description, and the adapters to make this tiny little stand in the bottom right here. These small adapters, they're really helpful. I use them all the time for all kinds of stuff. So that is also the link in the bottom over there. Other than that, I don't think so. If you guys don't have any other questions, I really appreciate you guys that you guys came by. If you guys, I'm gonna try to look through this live stream later, and I'm probably gonna add on chapters for people who are gonna watch it later. So, but that's pretty much it. This is what I could learn from yesterday to today, and I love it. I'm looking forward to having a lot more live streams, and I think I'm gonna be utilizing a lot more live streams because I'm paying for it. I don't think that I really need to make a schedule. I just announce it. Hey, tomorrow we're gonna talk about this and do a live stream. I think live stream sometimes seems to be better for me, anyways, than making an episode. It takes away a lot of the production, and it's live. And with this setup, with having multiple cameras, I can show off any product, technically seen. So you kind of like taken away from that whole episode thing. So you can pretty much do a live stream all the time. That's another thing too why I picked this up, because I told my wife that it takes away so much time of me of sitting there pulling the cards out of the camera, adjusting the audio, adjusting the camera angle, adjusting the color grading and stuff. This way I set the camera up, let that sucker record while I'm doing my freaking live stream, and then just show you guys what is there, and I can talk story with you guys live. You know what I mean? I can literally talk to you guys at the same time if you guys have any questions. So yeah, currently I'm still looking into remote ID for my Autel Evo 2 Pro V1, which did not come with remote ID. I'm looking for an external device in order to stay within compliance, because remote ID is coming up, I believe, what, September? Sometimes around September. I got an email the other day. I didn't even look into it. But remote ID is already for a lot of DJI drones out there right now. So it's gonna come sooner or later. It's You can't avoid it, so just go with it. You know what I mean? So yeah, as soon as that comes up, and then of course next live stream, just stay within my community tab. Until then, don't forget, be a nice human, make somebody else smile, and definitely pay it forward. I love you all. Aloha. Yeah, one more thing. How you guys like my new intro, huh? You guys actually like it? I like it. My new intro, and it's my outro too. So I think it's pretty cool. Bye.